search of O'Brien.
The Tigers have been dropping her on punts and goal kicks and free kicks to try to have her win any kicks in the air that are against them, and then, of course, playing off of her offensively. That's a dangerous play.
A dangerous play. No whistle. Stevens. Shank. Well done by Princeton. Kennedy distributing. The Penn able to recover their possession. So we approach the final 5 minutes. And the whistle goes against Assam. And Assam will get a yellow for the push from behind.
And we've seen that happen a few times now where Assam's going up against Jaden Walensky and knocking her over. So I don't know if every single one of them are fouls, but she definitely has Walensky hitting the turf.
The Princeton bench talking to the head referee about that call. Sean Driscoll, fourth-year head coach. Certainly not thrilled with that. 5:07 to go in the first half. Penn will have a free kick from just inside their own half. It's Stevens on the run and has it pushed out of play. Princeton will use the substitution as Assam comes off for the Tigers. And Penn will sub as well.
On board the surface is number 13, Kelsey Andrews, from the Colorado Hospital. To a second line is number 14, number 19, Media Side.
Heard the substitutions. Whiting for Princeton. Andrews for the Quakers. So look to reverse the field. Penn may have missed their opportunity. Princeton looks to counter. Looking ahead for O'Brien.
And Olivia Shepard and Lucy Reicherson have been really lights out on that back line, winning first balls. Not always able to connect on the pass, as we see there too with Shepard, but doing a great job of disrupting Penn's transition and attack.
Quakers were trying to work their way through the midfield, and they've given it away. Schenk in pursuit for Princeton, a collision. That's a foul on Penn. Andrews had a word for the referee about it. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Free kick for the Tigers. Onside. Well done by Wokady. But she was not able to clear it away. It's a throw deep in Penn territory. Davis able to keep possession from the back line. Flick forward. Shot is on target, but saved. The flag was up anyway. Penn tested.
And that's what the Tigers do offensively that makes them so hard to defend, because they constantly have girls looking to make dangerous runs in behind, even though Sam was off sides, but still, Sam McDonough looking to stretch the back line and take that chance.
Certainly does leave you vulnerable when your defenders come into the box. Final 90 seconds. Penn looking for a first half equalizer. Princeton able to cluster up and force that one away. Penn will have a throw right around the midfield line. Well, Katie. Opportunity forward. Andrews has a shot. Oh, it's just over the bar.
Wow, what a close one. Right over Gross's hands and over the crossbar, but great look there by Andrews.
Andrews, 4 goals on the season. Made a bid for an equalizer right before the half. Whistle against the Quakers. As the final seconds tick down.
9, 8, 7,
Princeton certainly content to take this to the break.
2, 1.
The goal by Mimi Assam. The 12th of her season, the Ivy League leader, has provided the difference here in the opening half. Princeton has the lead. The winner goes to the NCAA tournament. We'll have the second half in just a bit here on ESPN.
It's times like these when you've got to stay centered. The 2018 Nissan Rogue with available Pro Pilot Assist that can help keep you centered in your lane. Experience it only at your local Nissan store. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
On today's Beyond the Stripes here at Princeton University Women's Soccer's Meislich Field, I'm Renee Washington, joined by goal scorer Mimi Assam. Senior, you cracked the top 5 for goals and points. Is this how you imagine your career here at Princeton going?
Wow, it's crazy to think that this has already been the 4th year, and I remember coming in as a freshman, people would always talk about like my career and what I wanted from that, and I don't know, like, it's just not something I ever thought about in the long term. I've been taking it season by season, and now it's that I'm coming to the end, that I'm looking back on 4 years or almost 4 years of this, and I'm like, what more can I do to add to my legacy, I guess, at this point? And just doing my best with that, but mostly doing my best to help my team win an Ivy League championship.
Let's start back. Dallas, Texas, where you grew up. You were committing to college and trying to figure out where you wanted to go, and this is not where you first committed.
No, it is not. I was committed to Stanford for maybe a little under a year, my junior year. Women's college soccer was getting crazy because girls are starting to commit at like 14, and I was the last girl on my team to commit my junior year, and I committed to Stanford after having looked at Stanford and Princeton for sophomore and junior years. And then ultimately my senior year just ran it back and decided that I really wanted to give Princeton a shot, and this is back when Princeton didn't allow transfers. So it was something to really consider, that like if I closed that door, I was closing it forever. I could never go there. So it really influenced my decision, and then I ended up here, and I've been so happy ever since.
And last year especially, a great run. That was like the shot heard around the world.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of soccer players and fans and coaches in the area, that really put you guys on the map, because it was a chance to see Princeton women's soccer be the Cinderella team. You knock off UNC, which is like everyone that knows women's soccer, that's a powerhouse team. Talk me to that moment in overtime. You guys get that game-winning goal. You beat UNC. You're moving on to play UCLA.
There's actually like a series of photos from those moments, and I like faint. Like you can see like someone like holding me up because I just could not believe my eyes, and it's like that did not just happen, and just it was an unreal game. Like we sometimes go back and watch the footage, and there are girls like throwing themselves in front of the ball, like people, like someone tripped and running by and like picking them back up, like doing whatever it takes to just like keep fighting for another moment. And UNC was such a great side, and it was just such a moment where everyone was giving their all, and we were fortunate and it worked out in our favor, and it was truly a Cinderella story, like you said.
Yes. When I was at LaSalle University and playing players like Jen Hoy and Tyler Lucy, and then here you come in and you kind of took them to that next step, you and your classmates. Princeton women's soccer has been great for years, but I feel like since you've been here in these last 4 years, you've really turned the corner.
This program has always been very good. I mean, it's a great school, it attracts great players, and I just feel that in the last couple of years, a lot of things have solidified, and we've just been fortunate, and there are like great players like Jen or like Tyler who have left such like a legacy, and Princeton women's soccer is such an opportunity, and each day that you get to be out here with your 25 best friends just having fun and doing what you love to do is something that should be remembered and not taken for granted, because they're finite. As I'm becoming well aware, the games are finite, the practices are finite. I have 6 more guaranteed games and 5 more guaranteed weeks in my college career, and that's insane. In those moments, you just really learn to appreciate like what an opportunity this is.
So what is the legacy that you want to leave? I mean, you've put so much time and blood, sweat, and tears into this field, into that training field. What's your legacy that you want to leave, that Mimi Assam is here, she left her mark, and Princeton's going to be better because of it?
I hope that my legacy for my underclassmen especially isn't particularly soccer related, but also is just the idea that it's okay to be different and to like be an individual, as long as you learn to just mold that individual into what's best for the team in some ways. And so we don't all have to be the same soccer player, and it's okay to have your own strengths but be weaker at other things, so long as you're giving it your all and you're just working hard for the people who are around you.
So Princeton's motto is Princeton in the nation's service and in the service of humanity. My great-grandfather, Meyer Greenbaum, was class of 1912 here, starting pitcher for the varsity baseball team. Following his graduation, he enlisted in the Army Air Corps and went over to Foga, Italy, and served during World War I. My grandfather, James, was also a varsity baseball pitcher here. After he graduated in 1942, after graduation, he went down to Peru, managed an Air Force base for a couple of years, before deciding that he enlisted in the Army Air Corps and was about to go over to the Pacific when we dropped the atomic bombs. I guess the baseball gene skipped a generation or so, and I show up here never having touched a baseball in my life. Spent 3 years here doing Naval ROTC on campus before deciding that I was looking for something a little more competitive. So in that vein, in that spirit, I decided to walk onto the varsity water polo team as a junior. So last spring I walked onto the team, and I'm continuing doing that right now.
He came on board, and from the get-go, he was a motivated guy. He was a guy that never knew how to give up. He was a guy that was motivating others just by his actions completely. And now he's turned into the guy that if they have a problem outside the water, he's one of the first guys that they really go to, even now. And he's dedicated himself to this cause from the get-go, from the time he started in the spring.
And my attitude in the spring was always, you know, if I like this, I'll stay with it. If I don't like it, I won't come back in the fall. But what kept me coming back, but why I came back this fall was the guys, was the 21 guys who got on the team, this family, this brotherhood.
The military service is a big part. It was a big part of my life. Dad growing up 30 years in the Navy, and it's a big part of I think the Princeton way too. Over the years, there's tons of people that have gone through it, even the last 10 or 15 through the water polo community here. We understand that the commitment is there, and we're not going to ask him to do anything that would conflict with that, and he's done a really good job of balancing out his commitment to our NROTC with the water polo team.
I'm extremely fortunate that Derek and Dusty, our head coach, have been willing to accommodate the kind of special considerations that come with morning workouts up at Rutgers through the Naval ROTC program. The benefit you get from it, the feeling of waking up at 4, getting back to campus by 10, and realizing that you've worked out, you've had a class, you've accomplished so much for the day, and your roommate might still be asleep. So that's definitely a feeling I really enjoy. So without them, without their support, I really wouldn't be able to do what I do. I knew I wanted to serve after college. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. And I think we're all extremely fortunate that Princeton has welcomed back the Naval ROTC program on campus in the last 3 or 4 years after a 50-year hiatus since the Vietnam War. And so I've definitely been one of the main beneficiaries of that opportunity. And also, I mean, ROTC doesn't exactly get you in bad shape. So that's been a real asset as well. But I've put in my service assignment package for surface warfare intel option. So that means after graduation, if I get picked up to take a year off of grad school, I'll do that. But if I don't, then I'll head straight out to the fleet on a ship. Hopefully a destroyer, hopefully out of some foreign port, either Japan or Spain. I'll spend 30 months on that ship getting qualified as a surface warfare division officer, managing a division of between 10 and 40 people, before transitioning over to the intel community after those 30 months. And as far as long-term career ambitions, I don't really have any. As long as I feel like I'm making a difference and getting fulfillment from the job and changing the lives of the sailors under me, then I'll stay with it.
A sophomore captain, I played center back, I had this large role in the team, and so when I found out I was pregnant, that was pretty ground shaking for me. And so just taking that time to reevaluate what I was gonna contribute and how this kind of changed my role was a very big thing. And I think another thing that took me a while was reassessing all my values. So having kids actually made that all a lot clearer for me.
I remember telling Ron Fogarty is our coach on the ice hockey team, I told him on our trip up to RPI, I kind of grabbed him after the bus got in and I said, hey, just want to let you know that this is happening when Annabeth is pregnant a couple months in. I remember the first thing he said to me is, do you love her? And I said, yeah. And he's like, okay, that's great. It'll be great.
And the coaches switched over after my sophomore year, which for me was very worrisome, obviously just because Kristen knew my whole situation. I had kind of been through it with her. And I had known Karlish. I worked with her in a couple of USA field hockey things. So I knew her, but I didn't know how she would handle someone being like, hi, I've had 2 kids and now I want to come back on the team and contribute. And she responded right away and was like, let's set up a time to talk.
I didn't even know the compliance rules or what her eligibility status was at the time. So, I was just excited. She was interested and, we talked about it a little bit and said when the time was ready, we would cross that bridge. So, she ended up taking that spring off so that she could have 2 full seasons left to play, and so this is the second of those seasons.
Last year, Tommy had the opportunity to use his medical redshirt to go play ice hockey up at Providence, which was something that we as a family really couldn't turn down because it was such a great chance for him to continue playing at such a high level of ice hockey and then also getting his MBA up there. So we made the decision that he would go live in Providence for the year while the girls and I stayed here and I attended classes and played field hockey. So that was definitely a big struggle, just being apart and having to manage so much.
Honestly, the value there with the MBA and selfishly another year of hockey was something that I was really eager about, but Annabeth was also super supportive and saw the value in. So we were able to do that, and basically what it came down to was 2 or 3 days a week together. She would come up most of the time, or I would go down and take the bus.
In the end, it worked out, and we had a great support system with my parents and his parents, and just the team and the coaches and everybody here.
I think what people forget about AB was AB before children. She was and she still is a very good player. She's a great athlete. She was a top prospect coming out of high school. I didn't recruit her everywhere. You know, she picked Princeton early on, but it was kind of a known, you know, she was going to pick a highly academic school. She was a top prospect coming out. So I think, you know, going into it, already being a great athlete and having a great foundation to work with, you know, it's been a process, and I think having the 2 years has been, you know, it's been nice to see the progress and her evolve a little bit more.
It's rare that people would even finish college in certain situations like us, and we were able to finish college and play competitively in our respective sports. So the support we had was unbelievable, and that made all the difference.
And I think I'm just blessed to have a team that has such similar values to like what I hold dear. We were just blessed to be at Princeton when this happened. And Kelly Widener, who's our compliance officer, worked with actually both of us, me in taking my time off with my pregnancy and making sure that I followed all the rules and was allowed to compete for 4 full seasons, which was something that was very important to me. And then also Tommy, she helped him get his medical redshirt year, which was just a great step for our family as well. And then Molly Marcoux has been nothing but great to us. She's offered her kids up as babysitters. She supports Tommy and I. She comes to some of our games. And we're just lucky that we have such a large system here that's always supporting us and always has our back.
It's really nice to now be back here in the Princeton area. Her senior year, I mean, yeah, it's amazing that she's able to play her 4th year and with her sister now, and yeah, it's great.
He's back this year, which is amazing. Just having him around to be able to pick the girls up or drop the girls off, and having him come to my games is exciting, and watching the girls and him together is really great.
Half number 2 about to get underway for Sherrod Field. Campus of Princeton University Tigers 1, Quakers nothing. With Renee Washington, I'm John Moses. Thanks for making us part of your Saturday night. Winner, outright Ivy League champion, and headed to the NCAA tournament. The goal by Mimi Assam in the 31st minute has provided the difference. But Renee, that first half really playing out as we expected. A defensive battle, just 5 shots total between the 2 teams.
Exactly. We knew coming into this game it was going to be a very tight game on both ends, because we have 2 teams that have the top goals against average, shutouts, very organized defenses. But we also talked about how one mistake was the difference, or could be the difference. And having Mimi Assam alone in the box with just 1 defender on her is, in my opinion, a mistake. So now Princeton leads 1-0 heading into the second half, but I'm sure it's going to be another tight half.
It was one of those adjustments that Princeton made in that half. Here's a shot saved by Grossi for Princeton. As Courtney O'Brien subbed in with about 20 minutes to go in that first half, they moved her to the middle at the forward, Assam to the outside, and that's what led to the goal.
Exactly, leaving her isolated. And we already see 20 seconds into the second half, Penn is coming out buzzing, creating a very dangerous look already. So it's going to be another very intense half here.
O'Brien in pursuit. Katie sent it away for Penn. And it is headed out for a Princeton throw. Penn in the first 18 to 20 minutes or so got great energy from Sasha Stevens and Emily Sands, but Princeton, their back line seemed to make an adjustment to keep them from being too dangerous, as it appeared that Stevens was headed for a goal from the start.
Exactly. That defensive adjustment that the Tigers made helped tremendously, moving E. Hewins to her side. And we see some other adjustments. Courtney O'Brien still out here in the starting lineup at center forward with Assam out wide, and some other changes, including in the midfield. So, I don't know, maybe another adjustment that'll help.
Sands, briefly, and now Andrews tied up with a Tiger. There will be a foul on Kelsey Andrews. Andrews, who came on as a first half sub, tied for second on the team in points and goals. And Princeton will have a corner.
So already in almost 3 minutes, we saw Penn had the first shot, but since then, Princeton has had a deep throw in and now a corner kick. The second half picking up right where the first left off.
Toward the top of the box. Princeton controls. And those orange and white tops. And in the traditional red and blue striped tops. Here's a shot from the wing, and Q is up to the task for Penn in net. She has been tested early and often.
You see why she's one of the top goalkeepers, not only in the Ivy League, but in Division I soccer altogether, because she is very aggressive and confident on and off her line.
Andrews, Schenk is getting physical for Penn. No whistle as the Tigers briefly came away with it. Sands looking to distribute. Here is Sands. Stevens and Sands. Sands goes down. That'll be a free kick just outside the box. Princeton better be careful with that reaction afterward.
I noticed that too, and you don't want to get another card in this game. I mean, yellow cards are one thing, but you don't want to see it escalate to anything worse. The foul is one thing, don't turn it into a card.
Princeton will set their wall. And sending everybody to the right side. Sands and Stevens. It is Sands who puts it right into the wall. Tipped it to herself. Princeton clears. That'll be a goal kick. Rossi opts for that far side to take the goal kick. Andrews fouled from behind. That's O'Brien who committed it. Actually Woodard who went down. South Carolina transfer who has played a big role for the Quakers this year in the midfield. Ball sent in off the free kick. Tip up. Still dangerous. That's a foul on Penn.
Great hustle there by Emma Davis. She had two Penn players on both, one on each side of her, and she competed to get a head ball there that led to the foul. If she doesn't work for that ball, it's at the feet of one of those Quakers attackers about 8 yards from their net.
Princeton Tigers looking for their 4th straight victory. Hoping to head back to the NCAA tournament once again. Their head coach Sean Driscoll, 4th-year leader. There's O'Brien. Sands. Princeton looking to break it up. Schenk went down, no whistle. Katie was there to break up the opportunity with Assam running free in the middle.
We've got a battle forming on this side with Mia Schenk and Tatum G going at it, getting real physical on this side.
Great energy in the facility, but Princeton has given it away. You can see every time the whistle blows, a reaction from the crowd on one side or the other. The whistle goes against the Quakers. This really does have a postseason feel to it.
Yeah, a lot of energy here and a lot of fans that are really into it, cheering, chanting. It definitely has an NCAA tournament feel to it, but that's what's on the line here.
Unmarked on the far side. Tigers swing it into the box. O'Brien, but offside on the backside. One just whizzing past the forehead of Courtney O'Brien in the middle.
Gabby Juarez is another player for the Tigers that gets a lot of offsides calls against her, a few each game, but it's all because she's trying to press and get high and behind. So that's, again, it's another gamble like we saw St. McDonough make in the first half, to try to break that line and get a scoring chance.
Juarez has scored 4 times this year. That is Stevens. Another goal kick. Grossi coming off a terrific 2017 campaign. Shut out her opponent 11 times. Program record. Walensky. Oh, Stevens could not quite get organized. The keeper Grossi picks it up. 2017 Ivy League honorable mention. She's got 24 career shutouts under her belt. It's the most in program history and the 4th most in league history. O'Brien plays it out. Walensky to throw it in for the Penn Quakers. That was off the chest of O'Brien. Certainly can't be comfortable to take shots like that. It's a hard ball down on the surface. Temperatures in the mid-low 40s tonight. Fortunately, the wind that was a huge factor this afternoon for the men's game has subsided. You see the trees are quiet on the far side of the field. Princeton plays some possession as they try to change the field. A high ball for Assam. Katie, but it is off the feet of Assam and into the woods. Princeton has outscored their opponents 24-9 this year. Penn has allowed just 5 goals all season. The difference, Mimi Assam, in the 31st minute. And now here is Assam. With Wokady on her heels, Assam ran into a third defender. But Princeton retains possession, still with players forward. Missed opportunity on the far post for Princeton, but they still have possession. Interesting to see Penn not bring those forwards back. Shot is saved. Going relatively easy for Q, just leaning to her right.
And this is the tough part about a game like this, because for Penn, they just need to tie or win. So being down 1-0, you need to take that gamble, get numbers forward. You can't play too defensive, but you can't play too aggressive getting forward either and give up another goal.
Whistle against the Tigers. That is the item to note. A tie will send the Penn Quakers to the postseason. Clinch the outright title. Final week of the season, 2 years in a row. Matching up these two programs. Last year was Princeton winning at Penn. A little topper over the top of the net. Vanessa Gregory scoring in the 34th minute. Last season, lead the Tigers to a 1-0 win over Penn. Grossi takes it away for Princeton. Well, Katie had a head on it for Penn.
And Emma Davis is all over in the midfield. She's competing for 50-50 balls. She just got knocked over, jumped back up, got back into the tackle. She is playing out of her mind in the midfield, even though she may not be a player that stands out as much.
O'Brien the setup for Princeton on the far side. That's off the defender. And Princeton will organize for a corner. And just as they did in the first half, Princeton's sticking Mimi Assam right in the middle, right in front of the keeper, Q. And now the official doesn't want any of that physicality prior to the play to play into it. Corner on the way. It's toward the top of the box. O'Brien has a shot, and it's saved by Q.
It's a great look by O'Brien. You see her competing for the first corner kick and then ready to shoot as soon as the ball falls to her feet. She's always in a position where she's ready to shoot or make a good final pass.
Stevens applying pressure. Some good patience from the Tigers. They look to add to this lead. Schenk. Got it through the defender. They're trying to go over the top for Stevens, but Stevens showing a bit of frustration at the delay for that ball to come her direction. Tasha Stevens so dangerous early on in this one. Stevens the one applying pressure now as Grassi awaits her to come up and pick it up herself. Sands distributing. Schenk on the backside. Andrews. Schenk. It's still alive and saved by Grassi. It may have been a corner if not for the goalkeeper's effort.
Good heads-up play there by Grassi to come off her line and make sure that's not a corner kick. But a dangerous chance made by Schenk on this left side off of a weird cross that I didn't know she was going to get to.
Here's O'Brien with some room. Played it off the defender. O'Kady. And Schenk working together. Springing Emily Sands with the Princeton defense. Able to turn that opportunity aside. They were not able to keep it in play. Off of Tatum G. Now we're going to have a substitution here. Looks like Penn and Princeton will each bring on a fresh body. The Quakers, that's Allie Traska coming back. Starter.
For the Quakers on is number 21, Allie Traska. For number 16, Brooklyn Woodard. For the Tigers on is number 13, Sophia Wright. For number 3, Caroline Newman.
Looking for O'Brien in the middle. Sands in a one-on-one has control. Great work by Princeton in the midfield to recover. They've got all 4 on that back line. This is Stevens looking to turn. Sands. Andrews has a shot at it, but it was off the side of her foot.
Definitely good pressure there by Princeton because Penn was trying to get something going, looking to find Stevens getting forward. We saw Stevens, Sands, and Andrews all getting forward, but just kept them from getting a good look on goal.
Nothing Princeton. As we approach the halfway section of this second half. Ooh, dangerous. Another danger. Another cleat near the head. Unfortunately, nobody taking the shot. O'Brien got a head on it. Assam applying pressure, and Q comes up with it. A little bit of contact there at the end. One of her defenders in the area as well. That's Walensky.
Q continues to come off her line without hesitation and clean up anything that's being played in behind. You see that connection between O'Brien and Assam there. That could have been trouble had she kept her line.
It's one of the most important things for a keeper is that you have to be decisive in your decision making. You can't have a hesitation as to whether or not you're going to come off the line.
Right, that split second could be the difference between a save and a goal.
Sands went to the ground. That's a foul on Princeton. G pleading her case with the official. Hotly contested on both sides. Talked about the great energy in the building here tonight. Big contingencies from both programs. With it all on the line, Andrews. Princeton's able to clear. Can they counter? O'Brien running free. Is she onside? See the answer to that question thanks to the Penn back line.
And you see with each minute that passes just how much more emotion comes into this. Both teams knowing what's on the line. Penn desperate to get a goal. It's only going to get more and more intense as we get into the final 24 minutes here.
Quakers still unbeaten in league play. The lone tie came to Harvard. That's Walensky. And a corner's been awarded.
The hustle there by Walensky. She didn't have a good look, but was able to at least get a corner kick out of it.
Walensky and Geffert have been under great pressure on that back line. Perhaps a way to relieve that is to get themselves into offensive position as Walensky did a moment ago. That's Stevens on the corner. And Princeton's able to push it aside. Walensky fell to the ground. Assam with room and options in the middle. Assam caught from behind. Stevens with great speed to turn it aside. Great recovery from the senior from California.
It's a 2v2 situation, and you've got Assam and O'Brien getting forward. I don't know which option you use. But at least they keep it down here with the long throwing.
Into the box. Q catches it out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Penn continues to play with high energy here in the second half. Though yet to get a shot on target here in the second stanza. Quaker was down as that goal kick was put in. It's going to be a foul on Princeton.
I caught a foul on Gabby Juarez away from the ball, though, on that goal kick.
Look at the unmarked player at the top of the screen. Now Juarez backs off. Just got to time it right. But Princeton rotates well. Battle for it on the sideline. And that one's off target, off the foot of Tresca. Whistle.
I don't know if they're calling a foul here over there by the sideline.
Yeah, the referee has gone to the sideline on official.
It looks like they are calling a very late foul.
It's possible that the referee did not see the sideline official's call, did not see the wave of the flag. Could have been screened by the actual play in front of it. From the far side, the Quakers send it in. And it's saved by Grossi. There were two options behind her. And a tense moment for the Tiger defense.
Grossi does a great job of making herself seem like she's 6'5" in net because of the way that she stretches her arms out to clean up anything coming through the air.
Sands, the target in the middle, in a battle. The Penn faithful want a whistle, and there is not one coming. Sands jockeying with two different Tiger defenders to approach the final 21 minutes of regulation.
Yeah, not just for regulation, it could be for someone's season, which is how I know this game is going to continue to get more and more intense with plays like the last one we saw with Sands.
O'Brien had a piece of it. It'll be a goal kick. And the Tigers will sub. Hasn't been a ton of substitution on either side. 4 Tigers have come off the bench, 3 Quakers. Both of these fourth-year head coaches trusting the groups, for the most part, that they started with today. Assam has it at her feet. O'Brien plays possession. Springing free with options in the middle. But Penn is able to defend it away. Well done by Jake Gefford.
Tony Kennedy can get forward a lot for the Tigers. Her and O'Brien flipping back and forth, interchanging between being center forward and attacking center mid. And she's really, as we saw there, stretching their back line and looking to get balls in across the box.
On to number 16, Brooklyn Woodard, for number 14, Leah Shank.
Brooklyn Woodard has returned for Penn in their midfield. The most recent substitute for the Quakers. Throw on the far side. Ska playing it forward. With nobody home for Penn along that far sideline. Princeton playing with some poise. Assam battling away with Walensky and draws a whistle against the Quakers. Assam serves it in. It's Kennedy. Shot is pushed over the bar by the keeper.
What a beautiful look there by Kennedy with the layoff pass. I think it was from Gabby Juarez. Can't really see the numbers there, but just a tremendous look and forcing Q to make a save, a tremendous save at that.
A couple times Q has been tested toward that bar. Princeton corner on the way in. Tipped in the air, and Q has it. Boy, the second touch, Assam was in the area. Quakers not able to keep it in right in front of their own bench. That time starting to become a factor. Whistle in the midfield against Princeton. Just inside Princeton territory. It'll be a free kick for Penn. Headed away. Bocady. The Quakers. They've got Andrews unmarked at the top of the box. They can get a shot in. A bit late coming to Andrews there. Big collision as Walensky goes down. Tigers play on. Assam seeing triple. This is Sands providing pursuit for the Quakers. Throw coming from the near side. Walensky keeps it in. Walensky created some space, and then Princeton put it aside. It was off of the Quakers.
Tatum G has been at this right back position since he switched to with E. Hewins, doing a tremendous job stepping, getting forward, and even taking some Quakers players out, but getting forward out of the back and really controlling her side.
This is Hamilton on the far side for Penn. She gave it up. Bocady bringing it forward herself. Here is O'Brien. A long ball, but Q way off the line. That was not really an option for Mimi Assam, who has the lone goal in this one. Under 15 minutes to go. Quakers advance with a tie or a victory of their own. That is Grossi coming off her line, sending her teammates forward. Slow to react to it for Princeton. They've given it up. Sands. Walensky. Princeton just swarming anytime Penn has possession, but Sands wins it in search of Stevens. Sands goes down. She just lost her footing. Assam able to keep it in for the Tigers.
And I will say, regardless the outcome of this game and who wins the Ivy League, this is a fun game to watch, and I'm sure it's a lot of fun to compete in, too.
You just saw after that sequence, Sands, hands on her hips, really working hard to try to keep that possession for Penn. Under 13 minutes to go in regulation. O'Brien goes down. She hasn't sat much since she came on as a sub. It'll be a Princeton throw. search of Stevens. This is Assam retreating into the midfield a little bit. Walensky may have put a hand on it. Assam tries to keep possession and is able to.
There is so much going on in this game. I don't even know if the officials can keep up. Fouls and handballs and a lot of contact and physicality, but this is a battle, that's for sure. Battle for the title, and it's very entertaining soccer.
Well done by the Quakers in the midfield, but Sands and Andrews not on the same page. They both went for the same pass. Princeton plays it all the way to the back. And now they're going to force the Quakers to chase a little bit. Katie had her head on it.
The Tigers have to watch. They definitely, of course, need to hold on to this lead. And it looks like Penn has pushed Sasha Stevens up to the center forward position. And we have Sands a little more on the left side out wide. So you got to keep an eye on Sasha Stevens because we know how fast she is, and Sands running off of her. Those two together in the open space could be trouble.
It was Stevens who was playing with such great energy on that wing early in the first 20, 25 minutes or so, but I mentioned that change for Princeton along the back line has kept her quiet. That one sent aside, a Penn throw. Chess match between these two coaches continues. Long throw in toward the box and headed right back out. A shorter throw this time. Here's the cross off of Sands' forehead. Walensky keeps offensive possession for Penn. Sands from the top of the box, it's off a defender and handled by Grossi.
We've seen a number of shots that have been deflected off from the initial shooter, but Grossi every time has done a good job of reading it and still getting to that spot.
Two great games here at Sherritt Field today. Sands, Stevens, and Princeton is able to survive another rush from those two up front. Grossi picks it up as Stevens applies the pressure. Off of Andrews' head. This is Assam in pursuit. We see Princeton still applying pressure with the 1-0 lead into the final 10 minutes. Here come the Quakers. Shot is blocked. Couple players tied up. They play on. There's a throw for Penn. Quakers will sub again. Headed off is Megan Lloyd. As Penn goes a bit more offensive-minded here.
It looks like they may have pushed up another attack.
For the Tigers, number 7, Shannon McDonough in for number 20, Courtney O'Brien. For the Quakers, number 14, Mia Schenk in for number 24, Megan Lloyd.
And Princeton making a change of their own, taking O'Brien off from the midfield. Kennedy couldn't keep possession. Walensky and Andrews work together. And Princeton clears. Under 8 minutes to go. Penn needs an equalizer. A tie or a Quaker victory will send them to the NCAA tournament, give them an outright Ivy League championship. It's a foul on the Quakers.
Now Princeton can really take their time and set up a good free kick here. Time is on their side, so no need to rush.
Brief stoppage to check on the Tiger that went down momentarily. Free kick from some distance. Tigers have 4 players forward on the edge of the box. And toward the middle. Tipped up in the air. Q's got it.
Tony Kennedy is really a pest around the box on all types of crosses and free kicks because she just manages to get a foot on it. So it looks like no one's going to be able to win it, but she's right there as we saw in that last one.
Assam able to retain possession for Princeton, and every second they can keep in the forward third. Here's a cross. But it does not find the target. Every second that Princeton can stay in that forward third with possession on offense. More time that Penn can't possess it and take it there in their direction. They get it forward. Sands. It's in the neighborhood for Penn. That one's sent out.
And now it's 6 minutes left. Penn has to stay composed. They're playing with a sense of urgency, but still have to be really composed in their attack and not just kicking the ball away, wasting opportunities.
Penn came out with great energy to start this second half. Still in search of that goal. Princeton bench wants a handball, none coming. Walensky was the last one to touch it. Oh, that was off of Walensky, but the sideline official did not feel the same way.
Yikes, that was clearly off of her.
And now the physicality. It's a foul on the Quakers.
I would like to call a makeup call because I think that foul was actually on Kaden G. But that throw-in was definitely a Princeton throw.
That's Brooklyn Woodard, who was pleading her case. The difficult part about that for the officials, that happened right in front of the crowd. Plus you hear the significant reaction to it. Under 5.5 to go. Assam has it. In the corner, just looking to maintain possession for herself.
Yeah, now we see the Tigers trying to run some time off the clock, looking to find the corners and hold the ball there to get these 5 minutes to go by quicker.
Woodard was able to keep it free. And Princeton with Natalie Grassi in net. Send it once again high in the air toward the middle of the field. Andrews in search of Stevens on the far side wing. Great defense by Princeton. They're able to sniff out that opportunity on the far side. Q way off her line. Oh, this could be dangerous. Walensky with Assam hanging around. Players go down. G is the one called for the foul. Under 4 minutes. The side official comes in. And now a stoppage of the clock. That ball was still rolling forward when the Quakers tried to send it ahead. It'll be Gefford. It's the side official who you rarely see on the field giving position. You see Gefford roll it forward. The side official really solid about that spot.
I have never seen that, actually.
Gefford puts it off the head of Assam. And it's out of play. Off of Penn. Much to the delight of this Tiger crowd. What a sequence going the way of the Tigers. Ooh, Assam had an opening. Broken up momentarily. Gefford pushed off the spot. And finally the whistle against Princeton. And the Tigers looking for the corner again. Assam will take it down there and settle. As Princeton tries to run off precious seconds. Gefford, the one applying pressure for the Penn defense, and that was last touched by Walensky.
Mimi Assam does such a great job of shielding the ball and holding it up, so that's the player you want holding the ball up in the corner to run time off the clock.
It's the senior that you trust. Penn looking for one final rush in the other direction. They need an equalizer. Jockeying in the midfield. A Tiger goes down, no whistle. Shank and Sands for Penn. Oh, it's a whistle against the Quakers. It doesn't get more intense than this. And now a stoppage with 1:57. Tigers send it deep. Go back to the keeper. Under 2 minutes to go. Tigers trying to come away with it, and now a whistle against Princeton as Wokady went down.
So many whistles in these last couple of minutes.
Another stoppage. Q will be the one to put it forward, as Penn has put everybody up. And now a whistle and a stoppage. You see the Princeton sideline with their palms turned upward, and the referee will go to that far sideline.
No idea what is going on.
1:09 showing on the clock. The winner goes to the NCAA tournament, claims an outright Ivy League title.
I think the discussion may be over the clock, and if there was no time on the clock.
Q to send it ahead. It was communicated for the clock. The clock's still not ready. You see it showing 12:60. Not running it at the moment, but play is on.
They started the game, but the clock was not ready to go.
The clock's still showing 12:60. Now it's at 1:24 and counting. Cross into the box. It'll be a corner.
This is chaos right now. Every second counts and everyone knows it. Trying to make sure that the clock is ready, trying to make sure the fouls are being called.
Here's the cross from the Quakers. It finds a Quaker. The shot is saved by Grossi. But another corner on the way.
And you see we even have Q up in the attack. This is it. This is Penn season on the line, all down to this corner.
Penn is unbeaten in Ivy League play. Another cross into the box, off ahead, and it's wide! Oh, it missed the net off the side of a foot. Another corner, however, 33 seconds and counting.
It looked like a Penn player kicked that, but I guess a Princeton player got a piece of it.
Everyone on their feet. This could be the final opportunity. Another corner. Saved on the backside. Princeton's got it. In a hurry the other way. Q sent it aside, but it'll be a throw for Princeton.
This is it. Amazing saves by Natalie Grossi in that. 3 corner kicks 3 great chances. She saved every single one of them to help Princeton win this game in Ivy League.
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Princeton Tigers are headed back to the NCAA tournament. A 1-0 victory over the Penn Quakers. They are Ivy League champions. In the guts of the game, Natalie Grassi.
That is incredible. So many players that were key to that victory. Starting with Natalie Grassi in net with some tremendous saves at
Tonight's final
shots.
score, Princeton 1, Penn 0.
Natalie Grassi, it is her 25th career shutout. Adding to her program record, Mimi Assam. A goal in the 31st minute.
Momentarily, the Princeton Tigers will be presented with the Ivy League Women's Soccer Championship trophy.
They are headed back to the NCAA tournament. And Renee, some final thoughts on this one. We had a sense that this would be the game of the year in the Ivy League, and certainly lived up to it.
Yeah, this was exciting. It was everything we thought it would be, with both teams having their, not only the Ivy League championship on the line, but their season on the line. You saw it all. You saw players leaving everything on the field, and hats off to Penn for a tremendous season and run. It may not be over yet, and hats off to Princeton on winning another Ivy League championship.
Congratulations to the Princeton Tigers. They are headed to the NCAA tournament. They are Ivy League champions. So, for Renee Washington, I'm John Moses saying so long from Sharon Field, where the final score is Princeton 1 and Penn 0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.